Reusse Unchained, Score North. Pat, what's going on with you today on this Wednesday?
Well, you know what? We're doing this a little later in the day than we have in the past. So in the past, when I was doing it, earlier in the morning, I'd look at the Star Tribune sports section and or as we call it today, the Star Tribune sports pamphlet, which we call, it wasn't laborious to carry around that 4 sheet little
You couldn't
thing
even
of
swat a fly with that thing rolled
no,
up.
hell no, you'd have to get a gun to kill a fly with that thing. It's the Pioneer Press would have been embarrassed with that sports section. But anyway, that's another topic. We don't want to rip the mothership, do we? Even though
Not too bad, anyways. Just a
that was
little,
an
just a little bit.
embarrassment. But now I can do a little research, later in the day. So I saw this thing on the Super Bowl ads are now up to 8 million for 30 seconds, some of them. And there's one that I thought was interesting. It's an ad that teams Martha Stewart. We all know Martha, a tax dodger who's been around for a long time, spent a little time in prison, but what the hell. But she's doing it with Charlie, Charli XCX, which can't be her real name, right? I mean, she had to change her name. She's apparently a singer
Yep.
and English gal. So I looked her up, Charli XCX, and I played this video just out of nowhere. And here are the opening phrases. Now you're a parent, and you got 13-year-old girls listening to this music, and you're trying to raise them to, make some good choices. Okay,
Sure.
let's
Yeah,
make
yeah.
some
Yeah, of
good
course.
choices. You want to guess the color of my underwear. You want to know what I got going on down there. Is it pretty in pink or all see through? And then it goes on from there. This does not make it easy for the modern parents, I don't think. Charli XCX there. And
I mean, there's been some. If you go back in time,
yes, oh, there have been, but you kind of, if it was rap music and guys were talking about the B word and stuff, you kind of knew that you wanted your kids to stay away from this one. But what do we know about Charli XCX? Mom and Dad don't know anything about Charli X, and she's doing songs about her see-through underwear.
Pat, I'll
And
give
these
you some
12-year-old girls,
research and development. Go through Charli XCS's Instagram account too. You'll this.
Royce,
That's
don't
right.
forget Elvis shook his hips on TV.
He shook his
Elvis
hips.
Presley offended us.
Yes, my mother was very offended in 1956 or whatever the hell that was. But anyway, now I know who Charli XCX is, and
Yeah.
oh my God,
It is funny how much it didn't take us
it's
much to get stimulated in the 50s when
no, no, it didn't.
Elvis
It didn't.
moves his hips a couple
Oh
times and
wow!
women are
Oh yeah!
fainting. Oh my
Yes,
god.
yes, screaming and
We need a little more
hollering.
than that now in 2025.
My cousin Kathleen, who's as close to us as being a sister almost when I was a kid, she went down to see Elvis in 1956 in Sioux City, Iowa, and
Wow.
she got a picture of Elvis, and my father, being a bad guy at times, put a mustache on the
Oh,
picture she got with him, and she never forgave him, for
Oh,
this for 1956. But yeah, anyway, that's my topic of the day, Charli XCX, and you're trying to raise your daughters. It's tough out there, man, right now. Uh, so I
yeah.
never heard of her, but now who's
Okay.
playing that? What station would be playing that music in
Oh,
town?
like in the Twin Cities for sure. Like KDWB would play
KS95.
Okay.
KS95 a little bit. Yeah,
Okay, it's 95 might have Charlie on there singing about her
for
underwear.
sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, okay. It's
You can
it's
walk down the hallway and complain next time you're in the
oh
building
no, I'm not
what?
to Matt if you
complaining.
want.
I'm not complaining. I'm just worried about the people trying to raise young daughters. That's what I'm worried
What's
about.
gotten into the last week? You've become like the pop culture report. The
know,
Star
but
Tribune might want to take you on as a pop culture
Yes.
writer for the variety
Well,
section.
but I did not. I went into this for all I know. She was singing 1960s. She's on an ad with Martha Stewart. I thought she might be singing old Bing Crosby tunes or something. I
Rector's got a
didn't
different
know.
side to her too, perhaps. That's what we're
Yes,
finding out. A little freaky.
yes, that's true. That's true. Charlie XCX. You want to guess the color of my underwear? You want to know what I got going on down there? That's very
good, Brian.
difficult.
I think we need to
for
clip
the
this for
parents.
social media so the world can see Pat reading these
Yep,
lyrics.
so it's written down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will say the lyrics probably go a little better when you're not reading them as a statement rather than when you're actually singing them. But,
Yeah.
Charlie XCX, I can't be, what's the XCX stand for? Anybody know? Or are they just letters?
I don't know. Yeah. Is it
Are they
Roman
just
numerals? Not quite sure.
Super Bowl
it could
fan.
be,
She loves
yeah,
Super Bowl.
They could pay. Yeah, right. Super Bowl. Anyway, $8 million for 30 seconds. Do they really sell that many more potato chips with a
That's crazy,
ad?
man. Yeah. I
8
think
million.
part of it is because yeah, obviously there's value in 100+ million people watching your message, but then it's also the clout of putting it out on YouTube and social and then
Yes.
getting talked about. It's like the tail of marketing the day after too.
Last year, they say, and I don't know, they got to figure out how to get streaming in on this now and the ratings too. 123 million people watched the Super Bowl.
What's wrong with the other 200 million is my question.
That's more. That's more people than watch the entire baseball season.
Yeah.
123 million. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's the NFL, and I've talked about this before. 10 years ago, we were worried about football. Concussions and kids weren't playing anymore. High school teams were, you'd have teams that used to have 120 kids come out for football are getting 60 coming out. The future, what's going to happen to football?
Do you think,
bigger
that's
than it's ever got?
that's a great point, because if you would have said like 20 or 30 years ago, hey, baseball, man, I know that like the 1998, the summer of 98 and the
Yes.
90s TV ratings and everything in the World Series, that, hey, horse racing and boxing they're going off a cliff here.
Yes.
Be careful. Baseball's not that far away. We would have laughed at you 25 years ago.
Yes.
Do you think there's ever going to be a point in 25, 30, 40 years where we are looking back and saying, man, remember when the NFL had a stranglehold on the nation and now it's just a shell of itself?
I would not probably be a good source on what's happening 25 years from now, but that means I'd be older than Sid was. But I don't know. I don't know. I think the honeymoon's got to end sometime with some, maybe 10 years from now, 12 years from now. But I don't see it. I don't know. The people are not offended by all the bad things about the NFL, these long reviews and delays and penalties penalties just being as important to the outcome as the talents of the two teams is what is another thing. But people don't care. And as I was saying to you guys, the great thing about these, there has got to be technology that would allow them to know if that was a first down or not with Josh Allen, right? In that middle of that big pile. They don't want it. I said this the other day. They don't want it. They want us to sit there and watch 3 minutes of ads, breathlessly waiting for them to come back and tell us whether it was a first down or not. They don't want to go bleep, beep, beep, first down, let's go. They don't want that. They want you to be captive during their reviews keep you captive. You watch a college basketball game now. I was watching the end of one last night, not the Gophers because they were on Peacock and I couldn't find them. But I get Peacock upstairs, but not downstairs. I don't understand that. But anyway, it's a 15-point game, and they would go over there 4 times in the last 2 minutes to look up stuff,
Yeah.
and it takes 12 minutes. What are you doing? The guys on TV started complaining too. They said we gotta do something about all these reviews to, find out who touched the ball last or whether there's 0.2 of a second left or not. And the NBA's got the same problem. But in the NFL, we can have endless delays for reviews and we're fine because we got to wait and see what happened because it's important.
Yeah, there is
Who's
like
got
I
the
know
ball.
it's from a purely logical standpoint of get every call right.
Yes.
Then yeah, you would, and this applies to all sports. You could bring in technology to be more accurate.
Yes.
But to your point, it's a TV show that you're producing, and some level of drama and dissonance and when you see two referees for that Josh Allen quarterback sneak come out and kind of have differing
Go
opinions
different
on where the ball's
spots.
spotted,
Yeah.
that's interesting TV, right? Oh,
Yes.
wow, they disagree. Where are they going to spot it? Oh, they spotted it wrong. Now they're going to do, and you're waiting for the replay, and there is something to that.
And then they, of course, then there's a big pile of humanity with a 6'5" man in there, and we can't see the football. Nobody can see it. It's all.
But trying to see it on the replay is part of the fun
Oh,
of
yes,
watching the TV show, right?
yes, it is, and of course, whether he made it or not, depending upon how badly you wanted the Chiefs to lose, right? It basically depends on who you want to win or who you want to lose. It's to me, it's now being like the guy from Barstool who's the big anti-Chiefs guy of all time.
Portnoy?
Yeah, Portnoy. It's obvious that he made it, and not obvious to me, but it's great TV for the replay is great TV for the NFL, and it's not great TV for anybody else. It's just a pain in the ass for anybody else. Now, once in a while, a baseball play on a steal or something like Dave Roberts' steal of second base. That would have been a great. We gotta stay and see. But even in baseball, they don't like. Okay, we'll be back with the result of this replay at second base. Because you don't know how long it's going to
It would
take.
be fascinating to go back in NFL history, the immaculate reception, or just different
Yes.
plays that would have been overturned with 4K high definition,
Yes.
six camera, NBC, technology.
Yeah. Would you like to go back and say, I think when Franco caught that ball, it had touched the skin of the ball, had grazed the turf. Maybe we should have taken that play away.
And the
That would.
biggest one is how many touchdowns. The most common one that tricks your eyes is like there's a runner who's diving for the end zone and it looks like he's in, but actually his knee was down with the
Mhm.
ball not outstretched. And I think for decades, you just call it good. Yeah, well, he's close enough there. I doubt if
Yes.
his knee was.
Well, I'm all for that. I've decided that all forms of replay are the worst thing that ever happened to sports because it just takes games take 10 more minutes because of why we're watching replays. The NFL now, they run fewer plays than they've ever run with the clock. They don't run, they run what? The winning team runs 62 plays or something like that. And, they used to run more plays, but we got replays and everything else. And I mean, they're magic. They are absolutely magic. And part of the appeal of the NFL now is it's so much better than all these rotten, mediocre, stinking college football games that because we now got 135 teams in Division I, and we got 18 team conferences, and college football is in chaos, and meanwhile the NFL just rolls right along.
But it's the perfect sport too because it's once a week. So
Yes,
that's the problem. In baseball, there's replays every single night. In
yes, right.
football, you're more patient because it's like, well, it's once a week and I'm drunk, so who
Yes,
cares?
yes, that's true. That's true. It's you know what amazes me about football? How many women are into it? Because
Yeah.
because it is a violent, nasty, terrible game,
Public loves that.
and
Yeah, you're right.
concussions, and but you go to the bar, the guy, the old gals are in there crowded around the bar just like the guys are, rooting for the
Well, and a lot of
Vikings.
more women play fantasy football than ever before too, and so you're gathered around watching your running back in the fourth quarter of a Ravens Cardinals game.
Well, I think that, let's face it, Score North. What's the what's the magic of the survival of Score North? Purple Daily, right? Purple. The
Judd
I
from
mean,
Heckler.
Viking talk.
genius,
Endless
handsome
Viking talk.
personality.
Three really
Yeah,
good-looking
yeah.
young
I know
young
we had
men.
that too. In fact, I'd kind of like to see the color of your underwear, you guys. But
Well, hold on a second. Wait,
No,
I'm looking
no,
right now. I'm blue. It's blue.
see what's going
My
on
boxers are
down
blue.
there, unbelievable. I don't know.
They're actually North Stars boxers is what Judd has. Yeah.
Yes. So I believe, I put this out on Twitter, I believe that Saturday morning's game at 11 a.m. is the biggest must-win game of Ben Johnson's 4-year tenure. Okay.
All right.
Washington's bad. They're 1-8, but their talent is not supposed to be as terrible as their record. I watched them one night for like 8 minutes. They're awful because they don't know what the hell they're doing. It's not because they don't have any players. But let's face it, the Gophers aren't good enough to go into any game with a clear advantage. You think they have a clear advantage. So last night, they go to Michigan State. They're down 36-16 at the half. And they're going to lose at Michigan State after the 3-game winning streak. But I was saying earlier in the week that this Ben Johnson could be making one of the great job saves in the history of our coaches around here for a long time, because I don't think any of us gave them much chance when they were 0-6. But if they lose to Michigan State, okay, they're 3-7. But if the worst team in the league comes in there and beats them Saturday, it's all going. It's all of a sudden he's probably not going to make it again, right? I mean, you got to. So I think it's a big game for them because they should win.
Yeah.
But how many times have we said they should win? Never. We've hardly this year and last year they were a pretty decent team, so we weren't surprised when they won some games. But this year, I just think he's back on. They lose Saturday, he's back on double secret probation.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is because they beat Michigan, they beat Oregon, and those are like resume wins.
Yes.
If you were on the bubble. And it kind of makes you look back and say, boy, losing to North Texas and then blowing
Yes.
that double overtime game against Ohio State, if you flip those games, they'd be 13-8, including 4-6 in conference, which doesn't get you in. But you got 2 wins against ranked teams, and you go beat Washington at home. It's you're right.
If they show up and play really good, that's fine. Then they can, they got some momentum because the Big Ten's got the second division of the Big Ten's terrible. Look at Iowa's terrible, and
Yeah,
a lot of teams that have been decent in the past are terrible. But it's a big game for him. 11 a.m. I got a hunch he won't be hard to get a ticket. But
You think the student section's going to pack the place? 11 a.m. after staying out till 4?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Hey, I did just get an email. Us loyal Gopher football season ticket holders got an email saying if you renew, you get free Gopher basketball tickets. So,
Are you kidding me? Wow.
And you said, no, thanks. I'm good.
I haven't rejected them yet, but we'll see here.
So
Let's see. So it says.
So the people who are still, when are they going to take the ticket surcharge away from Gopher basketball? For God's sakes, that that they're still trying to charge you $5. If you get good seats for the Gopher basketball, they still give you the $500 surcharge. What are you doing? I
Seat
can buy
licenses.
one on the street for $1.50. Why am I going to do that?
I mean, I'm going to a show at First Avenue in May, and I'm saving $36 in fees by going direct to the 7th Street entry bar and buying the tickets direct from them versus paying an extra $38 for 2 tickets for fees at first half because of Ticketmaster.
Oh yeah, Ticketmaster's.
But for Gopher basketball, they should be $1. I agree with Pat. $1 tickets.
Well, I
Go
mean,
to the barn.
Remember,
Buy one, get one for $1.
I mean, 15 years ago, Gopher hockey, there were guys who made a living out in front of the, selling tickets for
Off of me.
Old
Gopher
Tommy Ticks
basketball
sitting out
and
there. Yeah.
and Gopher football. They were all walking
Yep.
up and down. And now, I mean, not Gopher football, Gopher basketball. And now nobody bothers to go out there because now they got people out there trying to hand 4 to you. You want these, young lady. So anyway, it's in a weird way, it's a big game for old men right there on Saturday, I think. So,
I'll leave you with this nugget here, Pat, to wrap today's episode. So, courtesy of Fox Sports put this out because the Chiefs are going for the first three-peat in the NFL since the Packers got the NFL championship in '65 and then the first 2 Super Bowls.
I don't think we can count that, can we? Okay.
Well, because it was,
okay, yeah.
I mean, the AFL existed, but there was no Super Bowl. So it's kind of a technicality. And then the UFL has a 3-peat. The Birmingham Stallions have won 3 straight UFL championships.
Does that still exist? Which league is that now? The UFL.
We merged them, and now it's just one league.
Is that the spring thing?
Yep.
Thing? Okay.
And then FCS, the last 3-peat was NDSU from 2017 through 19. But can you tell me who the last FBS 3-peat team was?
He'll get this.
Not Alabama.
This team was very Alabama-like during the 3 years that they... From 1934 through 1936.
The University of Minnesota.
Yeah, Bernie.
And you know how many games we played back then? 8 per season.
Yeah.
8. But we also liked it. That's why I have some problem with the Gopher football fans saying we've never won as often as when we have than we have with this guy.
Yeah, they only won 7 games in one of those
the
years.
national championship team, they only won 8 games. They were 24-0 in 3 years. But
Bernie Bierman's nothing compared to Fleck. Let's not
Bernie
kid
was
ourselves.
Not. Bernie was not. So anyway, yeah, it's back then it was. Look at the schedule's amazing. That they, 8 games and 2 of them were. They always played Pittsburgh a lot. They played Pittsburgh a lot back there. But when you, I don't remember that, but Sydney does. Sydney, the one thing I said about Sydney is he was outside selling newspapers when Bronco Nagurski played for the Gophers. And he was there when Bronco's record got broken by who was the Gopher running back in only 5-6 years ago. Sid was
Mo
still there.
Ibrahim.
He saw Bronco, and then he saw the other guy.
It's crazy.
That's pretty good.
That's a long tenure. Yeah.
I've got an answer to the question to start the show. Charli XCX stands for Kiss Charlie Kiss, which was her MSN Messenger display name when she was a kid.
But the C is not Kiss.
Well, Charlie. It's X is Kiss. Charlie.
X is Kiss, like X's and O's.
Oh, Kiss Charlie Kiss.
Yes.
Okay.
Kiss Charlie Kiss. MSN.
And she was on Instagram with Charli XCX, huh?
And she originally started posting on MySpace. In other words, she's old.
Well, MySpace.
She's in her
MySpace
30s, right?
isn't it still
30s.
alive as like a music social platform?
It might be, but she was her original posting as a kid.
Okay.
So
wow, her messenger name. I'm gonna make you guys call me Longball 21 Mac from now on if that's what we're going for.
Well, all you parents out there, God help you. God help you. You got people singing songs about their underwear. It's very bad here.
What does this world come to? All right, Pat.
It is. Goodbye.
We'll see you on Friday.
you,
Reusse Unchained.